Welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, January 21st in the NBA. I have three player props that I love for the slate, and I'm going to be honest with you, not a great slate, but hopefully we can make some money, and that's exactly what we've been doing the last 3 days because we've had three straight winning days. Yesterday, a 2-in-1 day. Cade Cunningham's over in points. I mean, come on, wasn't it? It was a no-brainer play. When he screwed us on the ladder, of course he was going to show up. We actually got terrible CLV, one of the only picks this season that we've had bad CLV. Dropped to 24.5. It didn't matter. He scored 32. Easily cash in the third. Andrew Wiggins, great performance, my friend. We won't get an easier winner than that. He went 0 for 4 from the three-point line. They got smoked. Our only loser was Jalen Johnson, over 26.5 points plus rebounds. He ended with 23. Don't go back and rewatch his shots. He missed so many layups, and I'm kind of glad we skipped the ladder because there was a good chance I was going to put him in there, and he pretended like I did because man, he could not buy a bucket yesterday. No ladder yesterday. Just wasn't confident, and they didn't really post lines too early. There will be no ladder today. I really don't like the slate, but I do have three picks that I really do like. And hopefully we can make some money for you all. The ladder will return tomorrow when we have a much bigger slate of action. Again, if you are new, my name is Austin. Do me a favor, go down below, like and subscribe. Simple as that. That's free. And of course, we do these videos every single day. Let's dive into things. And man, we got an interesting card today. We'll begin with our first play of the day. And that is a guy that we backed a few days ago, and he went nuclear. Get ready, get your floaties on because we're having a pool party tonight. I like Jordan Poole over 19.5 points, minus 115 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. Now, I won't lie to you, this line did bump up to 20.5. You can take it at 20.5. Jordan Poole is kind of an all or nothing guy, in my opinion. You're either getting 25 points from him, probably, or we're getting like 13, or we're like, okay, well, we bet on Jordan Poole. We kind of deserved it. Now, Jordan Poole has had an honestly underrated season so far. He's been pretty solid and consistent for the Wizards. Obviously, last year, everyone loved Jordan Poole, and it was a very rocky year for him under the new head coach and all that stuff. But he's been pretty solid for the Wizards, and I really think this is a good spot for him. Now, if we're just talking about Jordan Poole and motivation and whatnot, he's in LA against the Lakers. We know there's a lot of celebrities that are going to come out to these games. Jordan Poole's a guy that typically likes to show up for those celebrities, but we're not betting on him just because of that. Let's talk about Jordan Poole and his numbers. As I said, he's averaging 21.6 points per game on the season. He's been pretty consistent, though, as of late. I mean, if you look at, since mid-December, basically the last month, I've been really consistent. Now, I got it at 19.5. I'm not too worried about it. If you take it at 20.5, it doesn't really matter to me. But you see, he's been over in a lot of these games. This was a game against the Warriors. We backed him 38 points. Then a bad game against the Kings. And the Kings are a decent pick and roll defense, only 11 points. They lost by 23. Now, before we dive into this matchup, obviously the Wizards have blowout potential in every single game, but I have a question for you, and a trivia question. How many times have the Lakers beaten a team by more than 20 points? Think about it. They probably got like 19, 20 wins on the season. How many times have they beaten a team by 20? The answer would be 0. They've only beaten one team technically by 20 points on the dot, never smoked a team by 21 or more points, and that was against the Raptors. So again, this is a Lakers team, knock on wood. They don't really blow out teams. They don't have the three-point shooting to blow out other teams. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes when they get up, they just kind of take their foot off the gas pedal. So we can see teams get back into games. I think Jordan Poole is going to have a great matchup here. And honestly, we look at recent guards. Sure, you can look at his primary way of scoring transition where the Lakers struggle. They've been a better pick and roll defense than the numbers say they're seventh. I don't think they're that good, but recently they've really struggled. And we've seen, on the right here, these are guards against them. I mean, a lot of these going over their points lines, but the real reason I'm here, the Lakers over the last 10 games for pull-up jump shots. We're talking about guys, pick and roll, guys pulling up and to shooting shots. Lakers right up here near the top. 5th most pull-up threes allowed, 3rd most pull-up three-pointers attempted allowed via the pull-up. So they're giving up a lot of pull-up jump shots. I mean, we're talking about teams that are pretty bad defensively. Suns, Pelicans give up a lot. The Rockets, same matchups. Cade Cunningham yesterday. And then obviously we got to talk about who shoots pull-up jump shots. Well, yeah, it's Jordan Poole. Last 15 games, 5.6 pull-up threes per game, by far the most on the Wizards. And he's actually shooting a pretty good percentage, 43%. Last note, last year against this same team, Kuzma played. I get it. Kuzma back in LA. He probably wants to show up too. Last year, 34 and 29 points against him last year. 26 shots, 19 shots here. Anthony Davis in heavy drop coverage. I think we have a pool party tonight. I think this line's too low. I personally think it should be around 22.5. But they gave us 19.5, given a bad game recently and a bigger spread. If they get smoked or whatever, I'll take my L on the chin. I think it's a good spot for Jordan Poole. We'll back him. Second play. I hate this guy. Do you guys have players that you feel like, you like watching them and they just suck? You could bet on their over, they can't buy a bucket. You bet on their under and they become the best player in the NBA. That is this guy in one foul swoop. And I really hope he shows up for me tonight. That's Scottie Barnes, over 19 and a half points, same exact line as Jordan Poole. This is minus 105 on FanDuel. My rule for point props that are in like the 19 to 20 plus range, I don't lay more than minus 130 on those. So again, if Poole went up to, you can take a 20 plus points line for Poole, but if that's above minus 130, in my opinion, don't take it. It's just, well, you can take it at 20 and a half, but just don't lay that much juice on a points prop. I get it if it's like a rebound prop or an assist prop, because those are much lower. But I mean, it's not worth the line. You're not going to win long term taking minus 130, 20 plus point line. So again, I really like Scottie Barnes tonight. Let's get back to Scottie. Now, Scottie, has he had the best season? No. He's dealt with some injuries here, but recently he's been all right. If we look at his numbers over in 14 of 29 games, not the best on the season, 19.9 points per game. Not the best. If you were to isolate, I mean, we're looking at games. RJ Barrett's in today. Manuel Quickly's out. If you look at those games, whatever, over an 8 of 17. So not a real big difference. So I'm not really too worried about that. If you did look at games, obviously he's dealt with some injuries and some blowouts in here. When he plays 30 or more minutes, a little bit more than 50% of the games. So not the worst, but Scottie's really coming off a bad game. You look at this game against the Bucks, 4 for 16. He was being guarded by Giannis. Bad game. Settled for 6 threes, 0 for 6. I feel like it's very similar to this game early on in the year against the Cavaliers. 3 for 14, just a bad game. What happened the next game? He was really aggressive, 13 free throw attempts. Now, today he'll face the Magic. We look at how he scores. Obviously, a lot in transition, whatever. Not the biggest, less than 20%. Again, it's the pick and roll ball handler, free throws. The Magic are pretty bad. Spot up shooting. We know they're one of the best defenses in the NBA at limiting catch and shoot. And with no Emmanuel Quickly tonight, I mean, someone's got to be aggressive here. It's going to be RJ Barrett and Scottie Barnes. And we saw just earlier this year when they played, he had 20 points. This was on January 3rd. Quickly played, RJ didn't. And I honestly feel like that hurts him a little bit more than anything because Quickly is their point guard. So the ball's in his hands a lot. RJ Barrett, sure, he'll create, but whatever. 9 for 19, missed his 2 free throws. I just feel like this is a spot where he shows up and you get some good volume. And I think he's not settling for the fadeaway jump shots that he's been settling for in really these last 2 games when he, here, whatever, scored 18. But again, I really feel like this is a spot where he's pretty aggressive trying to score at home, not a real big difference. But when you get the volume from Scottie, he's been pretty good over in 13 of 20 games when he shoots 15 or more times. I really feel like that's kind of what we're going to get tonight. The Magic are good at limiting, defenses getting into the rim, but they're down Goga Badatse. So I think you get some good volume from Scottie Barnes, and I really think he can get it done. I meant to note for Jordan Poole, look at Jordan Poole's numbers when he shoots 15 or more times. If you look at his numbers, 15 or more times, he is absolutely, he's crushed it. And he's over in 20 of 22 games. So again, I think these are 2 guys that get some good volume tonight. I like their matchups. I think Scottie has to be aggressive. On the other side of the court, he probably is the one that has to guard Paolo Banchero. And we think about the Magic, they have been really bad. This is a pick 'em. So I think this game's tight. I think Scottie gets the minutes. I think he has to be aggressive. He's going to have to guard Banchero, but Banchero is not really known for being a great defender like maybe Giannis is. I think you're going to see him get some screens, be able to drive. Please make some shots. That's all I ask for. But again, I like Scottie Barnes tonight. I like his over. I think it's a good spot for him. I think he gets you 16 to 18 points. It comes down to if he's getting some calls tonight and if he can get us those extra points to get to 20. I think he can. My third and final play of the day is going to be an under. Yesterday, we finished with an Andrew Wiggins under in threes. Threes have quietly been one of our most profitable markets. Not the over, the under. The under has been much more profitable. Today, we're fading a guy that I love, COS Hall of Famer, and I hate to do it, Tyrese Maxey. I'm taking his under 3.5 made threes, minus 120 on DraftKings. Now, I looked at his under in points, which is about 29.5 or 30.5, but I don't really want to do that. Maxey is capable of getting to the free throw line a bunch. He's capable of, shooting a ton. And while sure, he could make 4 threes and still go under that line. In my opinion, if Maxey's making 4 threes, he's probably going over 30 plus points. Whereas I feel like there's a lot of opportunities where Maxey does not make 4 threes and still goes over. He's done that plenty of times, and I could show you that just by looking at Props Madness, the site we've been using recently. Props Madness, again, not a sponsor, but a great website. Now, like I said, points wise, his line's 29.5, 30.5. So, I mean, let's say you get 29.5. He's gone over in some of these games. I mean, this game, 31 points, made 6 threes. Good for him. This game only makes 2, but still scores 30. 29 points here, only makes 3. This game, 33 points, only makes, 2 threes. So again, a lot of these games, he's getting real close to the line, but not making the 3-pointers. I mean, here's another game where he goes over in points, but doesn't make the threes. So again, I much prefer the under in threes. If you look at the season, under in 19 of 30 games, sure, he's coming off when he made 6, but sure, we know there's going to be no Joel Embiid tonight, but I don't really care that Joel Embiid's out because that kind of hurts Maxey. And we think about the Nuggets as a team that on the season ranked 5th versus pick and roll ball handlers. So they are really good at limiting those shots and those points there, which is good for us because we don't want Maxey to score a ton and shoot a ton. At the end of the day, without Joel Embiid, still similar hit rate. And as I already talked about with the Lakers, pull up jump shots, they're giving up a ton of. Look over the last 10 games where the Nuggets rank. They're right near the top 10, 2.9. Guys can't make those shots, 27% against them. So again, they're not giving up a lot of pull-up jump shots, and I get it. Maxey's capable of shooting 15 threes like he did here. I just don't think he gets that many opportunities. So, if you look at Maxey and you take his 3-point attempts, if he shoots 12 or fewer threes, he's under in 75% of games. So I don't know if he's getting 13 up tonight, especially given, how good they are against the pick and roll ball handler. They have a bunch of guys out there that can defend him, like Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown. So he's going to have a pretty good defender on him nonstop. I don't think he's getting that many 3-pointers up. Also, the Nuggets really struggling against spot up shooters, 28th. If we're thinking about the Sixers depth chart, let's see if we can pull this up real quick. The Sixers depth chart, they are a team that, look at the team. If you zoom in here, what the heck are we working with Maxey? We got no Joel Embiid. Who knows if Drummond plays? So maybe you get Yabusele in there. That's a mismatch against Jokic. But again, these guys, Kelly Oubre Jr., Eric Gordon, Ricky Council, the guys getting the minutes. If I'm the Nuggets, I'm like, hey, go out there and beat me, Ricky Council. So, hey, no disrespect, but I'm not letting Maxey beat us. So I think you see some double teams thrown at Maxey. Like I said, you can take his under in points. I just prefer the under in threes. You can go hand in hand. They both go together. -120 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. So my 3 plays of the day, recap them. Jordan Poole's over in points. Scottie Barnes over in points. And Tyrese Maxey under in threes. 3 plays, hopefully 3 easy winners. And hopefully we can go 3-0 and make you guys some money like we've done the last 3 days. Let's get into a run. Hopefully a 3-0 day will really kickstart a hot streak. We've had a couple days where we're, flirting with the sweep. Hopefully today we can get that sweep. Again, no ladder challenge today. We'll bring that back probably tomorrow. Tomorrow is a much better slate if you look at it. I'll talk about 2 things I got to talk about. Number one, on February 3rd, Logan and I are actually going to be out in San Francisco, the Bay Area, to see the Magic and Warriors game. DubClub is flying us out. So if you happen to be in San Francisco or near there, love to meet you. If you go to that game, that game can't be expensive, right? Magic Warriors. So again, that's that. In terms of if you look at the other games, I guess I'll talk about the other games real quick. Washington, LA, you can't really bet on the Lakers until you know AD status. So I'm probably avoiding that one. Philly, Denver, we're going to talk about that. Really the only 2 games I didn't talk about this game. I don't mind Scoots under. If you had an ideal world, Anthony Simons doesn't play and Scoot does, you probably get a decently high line for Scoot. I don't mind fading him there. But again, I don't like betting on the Heat with Jimmy Butler doing what the hell knows what he's doing. I don't like betting on the Blazers. I'm just avoiding that game. And then this is a game, the Knicks and Nets. I did look at it heavily. I looked at OG. Head-to-head matchups, OG has been really good. But really all the Knicks have been really good. Head-to-head wise, Hart's over in both games. Bridges, I believe, is over in both. Brunson went nuclear in one game without Cat. Didn't do much with him. I don't even know if Cat plays either. So if you're going to bet on some Knicks overs, in my opinion, to get him in now, because if Cat gets ruled out, McCall's going up by a couple points. Brunson, if Cat gets ruled out, I don't hate Brunson's under because this is a tough matchup for him. First versus the pick and roll ball handlers, but I don't know if I really want to get there. So again, I'm just going to stick with my 3 picks, but that's kind of what I looked at. That Knicks Nets game was a game I wanted to have a pick in, but I can't get there. Nets are a disaster. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I just rather avoid it. So again, those are my favorite picks. 3 picks, 3 winners. Let's have a great day. And I'll see you guys back again on Wednesday with the ladder challenge and hopefully with the brooms out. See you then. Peace.